Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This is B.A.N.K, and I have been out here cruising these YouTube streets, hanging out with some of you guys and other reactors chats. So today I am going to do another reaction on Olivia Johnson Lives Life, a.k.a. Love Liv. Now, again, I said this before in my other video. I don't want to be one of those channels that's dedicated to Liv, but the block is hot right now, and she is putting out the content. Everybody else, the truth be told, they are boring. I hate to admit it, they are boring. And Olivia is going to talk, and she's going to give up the goods. So, again, the reaction today is going to cover Liv, but I'm going to do something a little different because I was busy today. I got caught up with babysitting. Again, B.A.N.K stands for Black Auntie No Kids. I am in the great auntie phase of my life, and just like I did with my nieces and nephews when they were little, helping my sister out, I'm now at the point where I am doing that for my sister's kids, her grandkids. My sister passed away a few years ago, and me and my sister, my other sister, we kind of stepped in along with my mom to fill in the gap. So I didn't get the reaction done earlier, and because of that, I had to do some running around after the kiddos got picked up because we're getting weather. Okay, we are getting more snow where I live at. They're talking about 2 to 4 more inches of snow, and we already got like 14 inches of snow last week. So I wanted to get out and get some things done. And while I was out and about, I was listening to other reactors. I couldn't help myself. So I was over there listening to a Lux. Her channel is in let me look this up because I keep forgetting what her channel name is. So let me look it up real quick. But it's Sis Come Get This Podcast. Is that what it is? I'm pretty sure that I am saying it wrong. So let me pull up because I want to give her proper credit, and I don't want to mess up her her channel name. Let me pull this up real quick. But her name is Lux, so that's what she goes by. And she was super entertaining. She had me hooting and hollering in the car. I mean, if people were looking at me while I was sitting at stop signs, I was just dying laughing. She hit the nail on the head. Oh no, her channel's called Sis Let's Be Real Podcast, and if you are not familiar with her channel, go check her out. She does a lot of reactions to the mommies, and lately she's been on a roll with Liv, and she read Liv for filth today. She left no crumbs. She left no crumbs for Liv to scoop up. And funnily enough, there was somebody in the comments. They came in under a throwaway user account. I rarely see it on YouTube because usually on YouTube you have to have it sign in and have a username, but this person was able to come into the chat under user, and they were suggesting that they were Liv, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's her because that's what she does. And the way you can tell is how she responds, and we'll get into that in a second. I was also over there on in Tasha's chat, where I am a moderator. So not just because I'm a moderator do I show up over there. I also show up over there because I like her commentary. She does the same thing. She will have you cracking up laughing because these ladies are absurd, and Olivia has to be the most absurd of all the absurd. Okay, that's just who she is. I mean, there's no way around it. And to try to make heads or tails of her, I was giving up on that a long time ago. And I just want to let you guys know that Liv is really not to be understood. I mean, it's interesting to dig into her character traits, but I have never seen anybody or met anyone like her in my half a century of living, being on this planet. Okay, I've never. And I haven't met everyone, obviously, but even out here on these YouTube streets, she lives in a fantasy world. She found her calling in YouTube. She found her calling in YouTube, and she also found that if you're persistent enough, you will find an audience that will co-sign your BS. And like I said in my last video, Liv's biggest enemy is her chat, is her loyalty gang. They set her up to look like a fool, and she doesn't realize it. And again, I don't think that they realize that they are just fighting against all the noise that they believe are crucifying Liv, that all the haters out here that are, just hating on her because we ain't got nothing else to do. But let me put it into perspective. I know I'm kind of be a long winded here, but stick with me. And by the way, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. It keeps me motivated to turn this this apparatus on and record a video. But one of the reasons why I put my hat or threw my hat into the commentary reaction ring, and this is something that's been on my mind, and I have said it before in other chats, and I've talked to other content creators about this, is that right now YouTube is documenting history. 30, 40, 50, 100 years from now, they will have this as a record of what times were like in the moment. So when they go back to the 2020s, they're going to want to know what was going on in the black community. And if somebody wants to look into what was going on with black women, of course, we've had accomplished black women. We have politicians making waves. We have entertainers making waves. We have everyday people making waves and adding value. We are thriving. We are an important part of this thing called life. We have value. But I also know that those who like to spin history, they like to hone in to the negative. If by chance the time capsule happens to capture these women like Peach McIntyre, Strong Mommy Chrissy, My Jazzy Life, Liv's Life, I can run down the list of all of these young people out here on social media, a.k.a. Just anybody you can think of that's pretty much dominating the social media feeds here on places like TikTok and YouTube. I want them to know there was balance. There were people who saw the things that they were doing as problematic and was speaking truth to power. I want that to go on the record, and that's what people like me and other reactors and commentary, people in the commentary community, not just in the mommy sector, but in general, that's what we do for the most part. Most of us are not just here to pick on them and to make fun of them. Excuse me, I had to mute it so I can cough. But we see a problem. And in the present, we are also speaking to those who may be swayed easily to kind of jump over there. We give them, so let's say, for example, if someone is kind of new to social media, or not even new to social media, but to a particular personality here on YouTube, let's say they gravitate towards Peach McIntyre, or they gravitate towards Liv, or they gravitate towards Keisha Anderson, or Gina Janine, whoever, Peyton Marie Charles, whoever. But they are feeling a little like something ain't right here. I find some of these things problematic, but everybody in the chat seems to be rah rah sis boom bah, and we know why that happens is because YouTube gives, especially YouTube, well, even TikTok, because if you are blocked on TikTok, you can't even see their content anymore. But these platforms give them the authority and the power to block and to censor what they don't want to hear, which, in all fairness, I can even use that on my channel. So if I get a comment I don't like, I can delete it and block the person. So I'm not against that. I feel like if I do that to someone and they really have something to say, they're more than welcome to start their own channel and voice their opinion. Okay, so if you are in that bubble and you're not feeling comfortable in that bubble, you're like, wait a minute, are they seeing what I I'm seeing, or are they hearing what I'm hearing? Is there something wrong with me? And they may just get curious enough to actually search YouTube and see if anybody is talking about them. Okay? And they find people like me or other reactors out there. And they build community with the people who subscribe and chat and participate. They get a different perspective and they are allowed to voice their opinions. So not only do we talk about them and be the main voice and can control the room and dominate the conversation, which hey, that's what we do. This is our platform. We also give space for people to also participate. So hopefully in the very near future, I'll be able to go live. I haven't played around with this particular software and going live. I need to get around to doing that. And also, I have offered to help people kind of set up their own quote unquote StreamYard. I'm using OBS, which StreamYard runs on OBS. Is an open source software, so I don't pay for anything you see here. It has been interesting. It's been challenging. I am no way an expert, but I can get you started basically. So that is something that I should be working on tomorrow. I wanted to do it on Sunday. I got lazy, and then again today I was on babysitter duty and trying to run errands before the snowstorm came. But I do really want to try to start working on it, at least piecing it together and at least making it so someone can get started. So you have come this far with me. Hopefully you didn't click off the video. I may tease it so I can get you to stay through this conversation, but I think it was important that you guys know my reasoning for being here. These ladies are entertaining. I do get a kiki, but they are very problematic, and I think it's very important for us to speak up and speak out so the current generation of women, especially young women, and future generations, if they stumble upon this content, they'll have some balance. And that is something that's sorely lacking right now in American media and news reporting. There's a lack of balance, and we're only getting one side of the story. And yeah, history needs to know all the full story, or a many different perspectives. So I have made you sit through about 10 minutes of me rattling on. Let's get to the good part. First up, I was in Tasha's chat, like I said, and toward the end of the chat, we were kikiing, having a great time, laughing. She had us on our heels. The laughing emojis were just flying. And someone in her chat said, now we could call her Strongmommy Livvy. And it just, people started just making fun of that. And I'm like, you know what? You know some little AI tricks. Why don't you head on over there to Sono and see if you can make a theme song for Livvy and call it Strongmommy Livvy? So I did that. I think it turned out pretty decent. And I just was going to just play it as an audio file. But I'm like, you got time. You're a little bored. Go add some, add some meat to those bones. Add some video footage or whatever you could come up with. So I headed over to her TikTok feed and just snatched a couple of clips. And it's nothing fancy. It's pretty quick. It's a little over 2 minutes. So this is what I am dedicating to Olivia. Olivia, this is probably the only gift that you'll ever get from me. I think it turned out really well. You guys let me know. I'm going to go ahead and get it started. So give me a second to get it going, and we'll hear how this all turned out.
Six little sneakers by the front door. Oh boy, paper on her name, yeah, she seen court. Tattoo on her wrist where the cuffs wore. Fresh out faces in the school crowd. 4 different stories they can talk about. Court date circled on a crack screen. Still she packing lunches, chasing big dreams. Child support letters in a shoebox. Next to the pictures in a padlock. She smiled one day, this a TED Talk. Wiping up tears with a clean cloth. They say, girl, you weighing dead. She said, watch me, not there yet. They don't know what grace she's got. Blooming in a busted spot. Hey, strong mommy Livvy. They can talk, she's busy. Turning all the drama into something pretty. Yeah, she fell down hard, but she got back up. All the ones throwing shade still stuck. Strong mommy Livvy. Got a past, got history. 6 bright reasons for a brand new victory. They can hate, but they still gonna see. You can break what was built like she. Orange jumpsuit to a Sunday dress. Same woman, just a different flex. Baby, I survived what you only tweet. Haters in the comments can't compete. Every scar a nickname, every hurt a joke. She walked through the room like I'm the hope. If you knew my story, you'd be proud of me. She say it in the mirror till she finally believes. Strong mommy Livvy. They can talk, she's busy. Turning all the drama into something pretty. Yeah, she fell down hard, but she got back up. All the ones throwing shade still stuck. Strong mommy Livvy. Write your name in victory. 6 bright faces are your legacy. They can hate, but they still gonna see. You can't break what was built by lady. La 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 la.
And so there you have it. This is the video that I created. I thought it turned out pretty well. And the lyrics, she can't have a problem with it. They're positive. Now, when I was doing the description of what I wanted, I was kind of tongue in cheek. I was snarky. I actually wanted it to be a little bit more biting. But in all honesty, if it's going to be a theme song like Strong Mommy Chrissy, she's a queen. It's very positive. It's very upbeat. And this turned out perfect because this is like that girl pop, Taylor Swifty sound that I'm pretty sure Olivia is just in love with, even though she likes to think that she's a rap queen. She's a hood chick, when she wants to be. We know one of her personalities are anyway. So let me know in the comments, what did you think of this video? Again, I was just playing around, and I thought it turned out pretty good. Now, like I said, I just grabbed some random clips. Um, maybe one day I'll do it up a little bit different. And there is an alternate version that maybe I'll upload that clip or play it for you guys, and just to see what you think about it. But again, it's just something I threw together to kind of break it up a little bit, because I am not going to be reacting to her most current live, or the current lives. She did one. Now we're already into the next day because I'm doing this late night. So I'm just going to say today because it makes more sense. It's easier for me to keep track of, make it all make sense. Anyway, so today she uploaded another one, her car chronicles, and she went in to discuss her relationship with GamerBae. She discussed some other things, of course, about Gerard and her kids. The same old same. If you heard it once, you've heard it twice. You've heard it 70 times. That's nothing new. So we moved into a new storyline, and it's involving GamerBae. And earlier today, when she was doing that car chronicle, she really wasn't feeling him. We already kind of got an idea of that, because she was hinting at it in the prior days that it wasn't going to work out. And you know how she does it. Now, one thing I did notice, it's like a pattern with Liv. She did the same thing with Joey, and Joey even talked about it. Liv does this push-pull. Of course, she did it with Gerard. She did it with Zolo. And so this is no surprise that it's going on with GamerBae. I really and truly wish we knew his name, but GamerBae is funny. She wants everybody to think or know her baby daddy as GamerBae. I was calling him Dorian the Explorer, because the backpack with the game in it, and he carries it around with him, his emotional support gaming system. So like Dora the Explorer with her backpack. He's Dorian the Explorer to me. Again, don't know his real name. But she started this new storyline, this new saga, this same push and pull that she's done with all the other guys. She pulls them in and then she freezes them out. She pulls them in and then she freezes them out. Now with Joey, it's a little different because we all thought that the man didn't exist, and we were proven wrong. And so the lesson to be learned for me anyway when it came to Joey, and I should have known better, that she sprinkled in a little bit of the truth with a lot of lies. Okay, and so for me, I can't really invest myself in believing her stories because they're usually built upon lies, and they're eventually exposed. So I just have to learn how to be more patient, play along with her, let it all play out, and it'll all come out in the wash. I mean, that's just the way it goes. So she's doing this with GamerBae. She's pushing and pulling. And 1 minute he ain't her man. He ain't good enough. She should have 6 baby daddies. She only need him for the D, which I'm questioning that. And that brings me to the next video that I am going to show. But before I do that, there was one other thing I wanted to point out with this whole thing. Oh yeah, I know what it is. Again, like I told you, I was in the lives with Lux and with Tasha, and I'm pretty sure everybody else picked up on her wishy-washiness and the whole thing about her being single. And that's one thing that Liv cannot stand. She cannot stand being mocked. She claims that she doesn't care, but it is really important for her to always be winning and to showing that she's in control, and most of all that she could have a man. That's a common thing between her, Chrissy, and Jazz. They got to have a man. If a man ain't up in their face or somewhere in the vicinity, they will go and find one literally from the shelter. Okay? They don't care. But they just got to prove to us, the YouTube streets, that they can get a man. And Liv is no different. So by the time she did her second live tonight, which was her going to the show date night by herself, ironically, Lux had talked about the fact that Liv ain't never got dressed up to go out on a date. No man would take her out on a date. And this cow, she she had the nerve to take herself out on a date. Now, I don't know if that's calculated or she was in her feelings. It sounds to me like she just doesn't want to go to whatever hotel, motel, Holiday Inn she's staying in. She doesn't want to be up in there. So she decided to go to the movies tonight. I watched it. It was pretty boring, that live. To me, it's not even really worth reacting on. All she was saying is that her and GamerBae are now a couple. He's falling in line. He's getting with her program. Remember, if you watched the earlier live, she was saying that he didn't know how to fall in line and basically let her lead him around. And miraculously, after she cursed him out, or rather they cursed each other out and worked out and went and got Taco Bell, all is swell. But the man has to go to work. He had to be up at 4:30 in the morning to go to work, on his good electrician job. And she wanted to go to the show. So it's ironic that they were the people were making fun of her for not ever really going out on a date, and her being manless, and all of a sudden her tune switches. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, if he'll be her man in the morning or afternoon or evening. Who knows? That this woman genuinely needs to be evaluated. Her family is not doing her any favors. She's grown. They can't make her, but they can set boundaries and how they deal with her. And I suspect that Raquel has already done that. And don't get me wrong, Raquel's no peach, but Raquel's her sister. And yeah, sometimes that's just the way families are. You know who are the problematic people, and again, you have to handle them with a long handled spoon. And I think that's what Raquel's doing. I'm not even going to get into Stella, because Stella is a piece of work. Stella is one of those white mom with biracial kids. She does not like black people per se, but she likes the black peen. And she's okay with procreating with them. She's okay with laying down with them and spreading it wide and even making babies. And I suspect, just like Liv, she saw Liv as her property and even Raquel, but it sounds to me just like Gerard, Raquel's father, was like, no, 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 no. I'm going to take care of my daughter and fight me. So Raquel had the benefit of having her dad around. And so it's really interesting how this is all coming out of the wash, with Olivia with the web kids and then with her three strays, three extra or two and a half because the other one is cooking right now. It's still in vitro, so in utero, I mean. But you get what I'm saying. So Stella is a whole study in again white women who like black people but don't like black people. There's been tons of TikToks done about biracial kids with white moms who are racist, and that is what Stella is. And Olivia, Polo Tank Tank, she don't get it. And honestly, I can't necessarily blame her because she's not like intellectually curious. Dropping out in the eighth grade, she's emotionally stunted. I think there's some abandonment issues going on. There's a whole lot of, and that's why we see the tattooing, which I think is just another way of cutting. Olivia falls back on certain tropes in her life, and if you watched her over the years, like a lot of us have, you notice there's four things that she's going to do. She's going to have sex, a lot of it. She's going to get pregnant. Okay. She's going to tattoo herself. And what was the fourth one? You know what? There's a fourth one. And for some reason, it escapes me right now. But these are patterns that consistently repeats themselves in her life, and she can't shake them. She needs help. And I sadly don't think she'll ever get it. I mean, I don't think that anything could happen in her life traumatic enough for her to reach out for that help. And when I say anything, I mean anything. You can read into that what you want. So that is just my kind of commentary reaction to the two videos she laid down earlier today. Again, other people have already reacted to them. I may circle back and react to it because outside of the whole GamerBae stuff, she did talk about some other things that I think need to be addressed, and I found kind of ironic. And but most of that stuff is just stuff she's been saying over and over and over again. The only reason why I will be interested in talking about it is it will be the first time I'm giving my direct perspective on this channel as a reactor. So what I'm ready to show you right now are two videos. I've put them together because they go hand in hand, and they kind of they are definitely relevant because she was talking about her relationship with GamerBae today, and again how he was not her man, now he's her man, and everything's hunky dory. But let's listen to what she really thought about GamerBae, because remember, she basically kicked GamerBae to the curb because she bought that ticket for Joey to come out, and her master plan was to get Joey's baby batter and not GamerBae's. So the first clip or the first video is from TikTok. I was able to screen record this. It was a classic, and this is the infamous curse out where GamerBae really lit into her ass. So if you haven't heard it, you'll be hearing it here for the first time. Other content creators, other reactors have shown it or talked about it during the time that it was happening, but I thought this was a good refresher. So let me go ahead and bring that video up, and we'll get into it.
And I called you supposed to call me today, bitch, and I called you about 4 or 5 times. Now I'm calling you on purpose. And bitch, you forwarded my call. My number no more, you wasted time, asshole. That's why I blocked your dumb ass in the first place, bitch. Stupid ass hoe.
Oh, I feel kind of bad. He said he's sassy. Wait, okay. So look, this is his voice, and this is his voice.
Y'all know what time Sunday, baby. Pittsburgh Steelers, we're gonna hold it down. Get this win today. Have a glorious.
So let's pause right here because this is the new Baby Daddy. This is GamerBae. So if you've never seen him, this is GamerBae. This is when she was feeling really confident about. I'm sorry, you guys. I had you on pause. But this is GamerBae. If you've never seen him, this is GamerBae. And she felt really confident outing him and showing his pictures because, you know, as usual, Liv hides her men. And she had Joey laid up in the bed, so she felt confident enough to throw GamerBae under the bus. So she shows his picture to prove that that is his voice, and we remember his voice if you were watching those infamous lives that she did with him. And this is the same man that she let hit on Kailani and AJ. So I'm feeling some type of way about GamerBae, but you know. We'll see how this all pans out. But you hear how he cursed her for filth? And she just kind of giggled and laughed? That's because, like I said, Liv thought she had it in a bag with Joey. She thought she did the deed and, you know, she secured the bag or the baby. It was close enough in the timeline with her, you know, slipping and sliding with GamerBae and God knows who else that she could rather pass this baby off to Joey. But we know that failed. That's failed spectacularly.
Season glorious. Good morning.
Okay, so that's what he looks like. Is he ugly or what? What do you guys think? She said, "Oh hell no." You think he's ugly? He's not ugly. But anyway, I mean, he's not hideous, but it's not really, it doesn't matter. She said he's hit. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
That's what it is.
I'm sorry. I was trying to pause on his picture, but you guys can roll it back if you want to see that second picture.
Face. Dark nigga do it better. He light skins be sassy. He's not light skinned. He looks like someone familiar. He does. I think I've seen him on TikTok. They saying he acts light skinned.
Now, I remember when she first brought him into her YouTube world. You know, he started coming over for a few days, playing the game loudly as he was in these recent videos when she just got out of the clank. But she gave the impression that she was passing him off as Dominican, and she was implying that he was light skinned, and that, you know, I know that Dominicans are a lot of Dominicans are of African descent, so it's no surprise to me that he's very black presenting, but she made him sound differently, just like she did with Joey. Olivia is not just her picker, she really does not have, her taste is not my taste. GamerBae is not ugly. I'm not going to say the guy is ugly. But what I will say is that Olivia built him up to be this, like, gorgeous hunk of a man. And what I see is this high-pitched, average-looking guy that, he's not impressing me. But, again, I don't have to sleep with him. He ain't my baby daddy. But I guess I'm just trying to highlight how Liv, you know, boost these men up. I think at the time, possibly she never thought that we would see who he is. I clipped it out, but somebody had mentioned or said that he looked like GamerBae. And, you know, back when she was claiming that her and Gerard were bumping uglies, that there was a guy at a gym at the Y that she was messing around with. We never really got to see him. Olivia's had a carousel of men running through that apartment. And like I've said, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself because I've said a lot, but But if you guys recall, she got that summons when she was in Florida that her tail needed to be back in Texas for court. I believe court was like the 29th of September. So she ran her tail back to Texas because she had to be in court. And she knew what it was all about. You know, she always plays innocent, but this was involving her violation of her probation, not paying the child support. And there was a very real chance that she would go to jail. So in her pea brain, she thought that the solution is to get pregnant. So she needed to get out on the stroll and collect, you know, all the sperm she could. I call it baby batter because that's what she was doing. And by the way, it came to me. I said I couldn't remember what the fourth thing was. It's eating. So eating, sex, tattooing, and getting pregnant. That is something that you will consistently see across time if you watch her. Those are her coping mechanisms. Of course, her mouth getting smart and getting fly with everybody fits in there too. But back to what I was saying. So she, like I said, in her pea brain, one, I think she thought pregnancy was going to save her from jail, and two, again, it's her fallback. I know women who love being pregnant. I have a friend who said that she feels the best ever when she's pregnant. She has four kids, four pregnancies, and she enjoyed all four of them. She just really loved being pregnant. I guess it's the endorphins. Again, my name is Black Auntie No Kids, so you guys can tell me if that's the thing. But for Olivia, it validates her and it gives her some sense of control or some sense of power. I think in this case, she was really aiming for Joey to be the baby daddy because she already seen what her and Joey can do together with Kailani. And if you look at his other daughter that was shown here on YouTube, they look similar. So I think that Liv, of course, wanted to do that. And also, as much as she talked her ish about she would mind having six kids with six different baby daddies, we know that's not true. And that's why I find it so ironic about me doing this whole video about Strongmommy Livvy because she made fun of Chrissy. You know, what was Chrissy's thing? 7 by 9 or 6 by 9, whatever. Now Olivia, here's Olivia. She's, you know, she's 6 by 4. She's catching up with her. And I've long maintained that she has always been envious of Chrissy, and she is literally turning into Chrissy with all these random baby daddies. And even in that live, she talked about, well, maybe I should just leave men alone. I should start messing with women. Now, the rumor is that Chrissy's husband is transgendered. Don't know for sure, but it's just a rumor. But I just found that a very interesting piece of information. Again, like I said, I cut out the whole conversation about GamerBae because it was pretty much a waste of time. So this part of the video is going to wrap up in a few, like 1 or 2 minutes, and then I'll get into the next video.
Oh, he reminds me of he who shall not be named. Oh Lord. Show another video. I don't have another video.
Okay, so in this video, I clipped this. I believe this was from one of her YouTube videos. She was on a marathon. She was on a tear during this time. It was kind of similar to what was going on earlier, around the springtime of last year, where she was doing these marathon lives. But this one, she's talking about GamerBae. And I think this is where she starts to talk under his clothes. And I had to blur out her chest because those tatas were literally falling out of that top. And listen, I don't want to get any community guidelines on my channel, so to avoid that, I just pixelated out her chest, and I didn't want to really see it. It's very distracted and not in a good way. But this is where she starts to talk about GamerBae, and she talks about his anatomy, his peen size, and yeah, she seems to have amnesia about this conversation.
Oh no, something else is wrong with them. Like, y'all remember GamerBae? Okay, so he lived by himself, right? He had his shit together. But he had the smallest dick. Literally. The smallest dick in the world. I thought I would never say that. He had such a small dick, you guys. Let me stop saying that word. His thing was like this big. It's always something. And he was funny. He was fun. I liked him. But bitch, no. I'm not getting jiggy with that thing. No. I'm sorry. I tried, guys. I couldn't do it. So he had to go. You know, he had to go. Yeah, Cynthia, it was really, really sad. It was really sad. Because he had like, and he was honest. He was a good guy. He had a BMW, you know, he was a hard worker. He was an electrician. Did I tell you guys he was an electrician? Yeah, he had his shit together. But I can't. I can't. And I never wanted to tell you guys that, but that just came out. I think it's the Drake. But like, no.
And remember, also during this time, she was drinking and puffing cigarettes down like like a vacuum. So she was very loose in the tongue. But again, I think she felt comfortable sharing this because she thought she had Joey in the bag. She thought she had bagged Joey, and she wasn't going to give GamerBae another thought or another look until the people busted her out about the time frame of her last period. Then she had to fix her face but pick it up off the ground, and the next up was GamerBae. And it matches up during the time where they were humping and bumping, but she was also out in these streets with Prison Bay. And like I said, God knows who else, because Livia was on a mission to get pregnant. And don't let her fool you. Again, this woman is a professional breeder. She knows when she's fertile. She knows the optimal time to have unprotected sex. And this goes into that whole spiel in that video she talked about him trapping her. No, she trapped herself because she really was laying the trap down for Joey. I think she would have preferred Joey or even Prison Bay, because, I don't think she's really excited about having this baby with GamerBae at all. At all.
I'm not. I can't. I'm not going. So, shout out to him. Smallest is so damn tough. My goodness. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad saying that, but like, I don't know how that's even possible. It was so small. Like, it was so fucking small. So I was like,
I hate to pause it again so soon, but again, if you guys get a chance, make sure you head on over to Sis Let's Be Real podcast. This, she had me dying talking about Olivia having sex with GamerBae. She said they were scissoring. Oh my God. She said they were scissor sisters. So with his high-pitched voice and Olivia talking about his peen being small, I cannot get that visual out of my head as Liv talks underneath his clothes.
Bitch, fuck you. You be with a small dick nigga, okay? Not me, okay? Shit. I have a life to live, honey, and I'm gonna be happy and satisfied, okay? Oh, shit. People always say the physical doesn't matter, but that's not true. It is not true. It's not. Look it, and I don't like to call, I really don't like to say ugly. Unattractive people say that. Because the physical is not everything. It's not everything, okay? Just like sex isn't everything. But you have to have good chemistry with the person that you're with. Or is there people really out there in relationships not having sex with their partners? Is that what y'all are doing? No wonder you bitches are miserable. Not you bitches. I'm saying like bitches in general. Like, I have to have sexual chemistry. Like, I have to want your ass every day I see you. Like, just looking at you. Like, I have to be like, that's mine. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. So, but I guess, I don't know. And physical to me is not everything, because I can grow to think you're super sexy with everything that you do, Sex being one of the things. But like GamerBae, he wasn't like the finest of the fine, but like he had a good personality. He was funny. He was, we got along. He was a cutie, but I'm telling you, that thing that threw me off, honey. I was like, man, this sucks, bro. This sucks. And it was so funny. I didn't tell you guys. I spoke to him one more time, like recently. I spoke to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm dating. I'm starting this." I guess he started talking to somebody else. He has a girlfriend, or whatever. And I said, "Oh, that's good." And I'm just thinking in the back of my mind, man, is she gonna be disappointed when you pull down your pants, nigga?
So, Olivia, are you disappointed? Because he's your man now. And you done told everybody that he got a tiny penis. He's got a micro penis. And according to Lux, he'll be scissoring. So, GamerBae is your scissor sister? How does that work? See, this is what I'm talking about. Olivia is. It's easy to say she's a nutcase. It's easy to say she's delulu because those things are true. But she's very immature. She's very childish, and she likes to, you know, this is what she does. She will criticize something, and once she realizes that it doesn't make her look good, then she tries to act like it's not a big deal. So I suspect we will be getting more coverage about GamerBae and about her exaggerating about the size of his peen, and that it really works for her. That it's great, and of course he probably does other things to make up for it, because she has to spin it to make it to her benefit. I said this in Tasha's live in the chat. I said that Olivia lies and she contorts herself into these situations to make them work, simply because the truth is something that she cannot bear. She will lie to us, of course, to get one up on us, to make us, or what she thinks make us feel or look bad. But the truth is, the lies that she tells feeds her ego. Her ego is voracious. And if it's not fed by her, not necessarily by even Loyalty Gang or these men that she's bipping and bopping with, she has to feed herself, because if she lets go, they're gonna have to commit her. She's a 5150. She will not make it. So with that perspective and that point of view, I'm almost glad that she lies, because as much as she irks my nerve, I don't wish anything bad to happen to her. Okay, I don't want her to move into the realm of like self harm. I definitely don't want that to happen. But I also think that her loved ones need to do an intervention. I think getting therapy and medication will go a long way, and it will improve her life tremendously. But she does not have a community or a village that is strong enough or capable of taking that on. And then you have somebody like Stella, who co-signs her BS. Stella fed her this BS. Stella is one of the building, or one of the foundational blocks to why she is the way she is. And I can only pray again or wish the best on her kids. I don't want to speak that into their existence. Like I said, the older three, hopefully, what they're getting with their father and Nisha will kind of balance that out, that they'll be able to maneuver these waters, in the world, in dealing with someone like Olivia that is just purely 100% toxic. I can only pray for them. Now, AJ, Kailani, and this new baby, GamerBae, I suggest you get a DNA test to make sure that's your baby. And if it is, I would wholeheartedly make sure that you get those legal rights. And it sounds to me he's supposedly an electrician. He has a job with benefits. I think she said he has two older kids, which the youngest is 10 years old. So he's probably already in paying child support. Go ahead and pay that child support, cuz. And that is the last thing that Olivia wants. And honestly, I think that's one of the reasons why she also wanted to dip out of Texas. It wasn't just about getting away from Gerard and because he's climbing through her windows or peeking through her windows and stalking her for her smecks, you know. I think she was also looking for a way to run away from GamerBae because that's what she does. She plays keep away with these babies. The only one that she didn't have to do that with was Zolo. That's because Donna, saved her that time. Donna, swooped him up, sent him a plane ticket, and they are now living their best lives on their terms. But with GamerBae, Liv is really in dangerous territory. Um, if he decides that he wants to assert his parental rights, then she's going to be fighting. She could be potentially fighting another Gerard. And Olivia wants to have 100% control over her kids. And that man already knows how she treats her kids. That man also knows that if he's not around and participating in his child's life, he cannot trust her with the safety and protection of his child. Because you see how easily she let him come into her house and manhandle her kids. And it won't be any different for their child. So that would be the smart thing to do. And Olivia has already thought about that. It really boggles my mind that she let it get this far. But again, she is not the brightest bulb on the tree. So it is what it is. I got some more things to say. Let her finish talking.
That's not gonna last. And you know what's crazy is he had one baby mama and he was with that baby mama for like 5 to 10 years. I forgot the length of time. But like he was with her for a while and I don't know how she did that shit, honey. But like it made sense because every girl he was with cheated on him. So I'm like, hello? Okay, like when he was, I'm like, hello? Come on now, bro. Come on now. I mean, what do you expect? I'm not trying to be a bitch, but hello? Is something not clocking? And then we were talking one day, and he was like, yeah, and then females always want to get mad and say, you got a small dick, da, da, da. Every man says that, because I guess women say that. That's like back in the day, like what we maybe used to say like in our early 20s. Look, if I have a fine man and we get in trouble, we get in... but the D's straight, the sex is great, but he's just being an asshole. I'm never going to say, just to say it, and your dick is small, you small, da 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 da. I'm not going to say that. That's not going to be the first thing I say, because obviously his thing is not small. So he was explaining that to me, how like, yeah, females always like to say, you got a small dick, nigga, da da da, when they get mad. I was thinking to myself, honey, it's not just because they're mad at you. They're trying to say, they're okay. And I wanted to say it too when he was going off on me, but I didn't. I don't want that. Could you imagine saying that to a man who actually has a small dick? Oh my God. I would never. Those are killing words, okay? Nigga might come over here and try to kill a bitch. So, no.
No, Liv, you wouldn't say that to his face. I'm going to take you at your word on that. But you will tell the whole internet. You'll let it, now everybody knows. And I have to suspect this man does not know that she's done this video. Because I don't believe that Liv has even given him her channel name. But if he's curious, I'm pretty sure if he goes on YouTube and just put in Olivia Johnson, he'll find her. Or maybe he didn't watch this video. I don't know. I'm having a hard time. I'm struggling with this man wanting to be with her after she's told everyone that he has a small peen. How do you come back from that? And where is his manhood? Like, literally, where is his manhood? I don't know of any man that will want to deal with a woman. outside of maybe Wood, Peach's man, but I don't think Peach has ever said that Wood has a small peen. I mean, I think I'm not even going to get into that because I don't really watch Peach. But if you feel so inclined, you can let me know in the comments. But my point is, I don't know of any man worth his salt that would be with a woman who publicly humiliated him. And so I don't know how she's getting away with this. I don't know if he's just not tuning into her channel, which is definitely possible. Because remember, they were only, effing around. I don't, she presented it that he really wanted to be with her. And from that voicemail, he did sound like he was emotional and in his feelings. So he might have felt some type of way about her. But man, that's a simp. And I don't care what she says or what he says. If let me know in the comments, am I wrong? Do you know of any full grown, full blooded man that would want to be with a woman who has told the world that he basically has a micro penis? Okay? That, is no bigger than her index finger. And when she did that, I don't even think she was just talking about length. I think she was talking about girth too. And he's okay with cozying up to her. My only thought is he's got a master plan to try to get close to her so he can keep tabs on this baby that she claims is his. That's the only thing I can think of. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. We only got a few more minutes with this nonsense.
But he obviously didn't think his thing was small. Anyway, sorry. But off topic. Sorry. But yeah. Nah. No. So yeah. You just gotta know. I mean, it sucks because it is always something. And I'm not desperate. Like I said, if there's something that I don't like, I'm not fucking with it. I'm just not. There's no compromising. That could be personality wise or physically wise. What's small to you? Cynthia. Girth. Everything. Small is small, baby. I could work with what's workable. Okay, my thing ain't, stretched out crazy. You know what I mean? No, everything's still intact down there. Everything works pretty good. But this? What the fuck is this? No, get that fucking thing away from me. Ew. Ugh. So gross.
So there you have it. You saw the end of that video. You saw her face. It's amazing how the tables have turned, and now he is her knight in shining armor. He is, this super fit. He works out, and he is giving her the D. But as you can see in that clip, she's not satisfied, and she basically said that he said that every woman he's been with cheated on him, and she knows why. So we already know where this is headed. And we also know that if she was able to pull the okie doke on Joey, we would never have heard from GamerBae again. And she would have been busy pulling Joey's strings because she has a history with him. With even Kailani, with the way they conceived Kailani, there possibly could have been a question about the paternity. And I think that she was crossing her fingers, toes, legs, her arms, everything, hoping that Joey would be the father. And as usual, we just have to sit and watch it play out. Like I said, this is like a soap opera. And this is another installation or a new season in Liv's life. I don't know what we're going to name it or we're going to call it. The GamerBae Chronicles. I don't know, because it's including a pregnancy too. It's just not her messing around with someone. And for sure we know that she's going to somehow make this all Gerard's fault. And during this time too, she's going to also imply that Gerard is still trying to crawl into her bedroom window at night. So this will end my reaction. If you made it this far, thank you. I didn't expect it to be this long, but your girl can talk. And let me know about the video in the beginning, what you thought about it. I'm thinking about just kind of separating it and posting it as a standalone video. And I'm also, like I said, there's an alternate version of this. When I played it with the clips that I made, it didn't fit as well, but I think it's interesting sound. So if you want to hear the alternate version, it's the same lyrics. It's just got a different beat and a little different groove. But it was fun to make. And I thought it turned out pretty good. Let me know in the comments. And again, please consider not only liking this video, but subscribing to my channel. And until the next time I upload, have a great day. Bye now.